Today I will be talking about Romans 3 verses 20 through 25. The context of this verse is that Paul is writing to the Roman church because it's a very fast growing church and it's getting very large, and no other apostle had been there or had tried leading them. And so in this passage, Paul is talking to them about how they can earn God's righteousness and how it's not only through obeying his commands, but they need to actually have faith in him. He also mentions Jesus and how we are forgiven through him because of his sacrifice. The structure helps educate those who do not know God and are trying to learn him, because it shows that everything is related back to God. The older writing is not as detailed as today's and can get confusing by putting certain words under another. We can show that it all relates back to him. People also may misinterpret the passage and not learn the true meaning of God, which would throw off their whole faith. Grammar is actually very important in every single piece of writing, especially in this one, because with the nominative case, it shows what the main subject is about the verse and what it's talking about. And that will help because that gives the key focus of the verse, and it will remind people what they need to be truly thinking about. Grammar in this verse is also very important because of the genitive case. The genitive case shows possession. Everything relates back to God, and the people need to be able to follow that so that they can see everything, how it relates back to God, how righteousness relates back to God, how faith relates back to God. Important words. Certain words show the key message, what the key message actually is. The main word in this passage is dikeothestete, which means righteous. If that word is mistranslated, then people don't know that God actually is righteous, that he carries that. They could misinterpret that for actually an evil word, and then they could not follow that at all. They could actually be leading a pathway to sin in their eyes because they're going to stray away from what's actually important. No one in the entire world would know the true meaning of God and how to actually praise and worship him. The historical and cultural background. The historical background helps educate why the book was written. It was written because the Roman Church was rising and needed guidance, and Paul was the one who was going to do that. We can learn more about the church and learn from their past mistakes, or take and apply attributes into our churches today. The cultural background helps educate why we do things in our churches today. Each nation has their own reasonings for the way they live and worship. American churches have applied similar ways into churches now that were used back in time, so it helps learn and understand the church more and how to worship. This helps because we will get a better understanding of why we do what we do, why we have certain beliefs and faiths, and that's because it was passed down from generation to generation. Because the people that lived with Jesus, the disciples, everyone, they know what happened. They know what they saw. They are witnesses, and those get passed down to the churches. I truly believe that Paul is really trying his hardest to get these people closer to God. He tells the people to have faith in him so that they can get into heaven. He is trying to get them closer to God and be one with God. He says that the people will be forgiven of their sins if they have faith in Christ. He's telling them that it's not that obeying his commands isn't enough. You need to actually believe to be cleansed, to be washed away so God can forgive us. The author is trying to give the people a better understanding of God so they will want to believe in him. If the people don't have a strong knowledge of God and don't think he's righteous, he shows mercy, why would they want to believe in him? Instead, they would try to stray away from him. That would be the end of Romans 3, verses 20 through 25.